A very good afternoon to all. My name is Dr. Vinder, Assistant Professor Soil Science from the Department of Agriculture. Today, my title of this topic is Soil Health and its Indicator. So, before discussing the concept of soil health, we should understand what is soil and how it is formed. So, soil is the uppermost layer of earth crust, which is composed of mineral and organic matter. Soil is a living entity because of presence of microorganisms. We can say soil is a loose tribal material in which plant by means of their root, which provide physical support as well as it provide nutrient to the plant. These points are very interesting. Soil don't have a bias, but they are silent partner in food production. Soil is an organism where sand and silt, just like a skeleton, water and solute are the blood, and clay and organic matter, just like a skin. And microbes are the respiratory and digestive system. So we need healthy soil to achieve food security and nutrition goal. And healthy soil need healthy environment. So let us start with the component of soil. Soil is composed of four main components, that is mineral matter, organic matter, air and water. Mineral matter is the largest component, that is 45%, and it is derived from the breakdown of rocks and minerals. Organic matter include the dead plants and animals as well as the microorganisms. Water is the essential for the plant growth and nutrient transport. Air is the vital for the respiration of microorganisms. So soil formation. Soil is formed from the weathering of rocks and minerals. Soil formation is a very slow process. The process of soil formation involves the various factors, that is parent material. Parent material is an unconsolidated mass of rocks which layer of soil is developed. Climate is the most significant factor that controlling the type and rate of soil formation. Topography is the mainly related to slope, like flat slope, undulating slope. And time is the soil formation is a very slow process. Thousands of years to develop a mature soil. Flora and fauna are the important component of the soils. After the fully developed and mature soil, there are mainly five horizons. That is horizon O, A, B, C, and R. O horizon is an organic layer. The soil is in this layer is dark in color. It is made up of mostly leaf litter and humus. It is mostly found in the forest area of the soil. Horizon A is the topmost layer of the soils, and it is made of humus, decomposed, and organic matter. And it provides a shelter for the living organisms like worms and rodents. Horizon B is also the subsoil, and it contains clay and minerals. Horizon C is the regolith, and plant do not penetrate into the this layer. And this layer is very hard. Then R horizon is a unweathered rocks, and this horizon is a last layer of the soil, and this is very hard and compact. So come to the topic, what is soil health? Soil health is referred to as a soil quality, and it is a synonymous use, and it is very difficult to differentiate between two. It is a vital ecosystem that sustains plant, animal, human, and it can be physical, chemical, and biological property. So the soil health is the integration of all these three. And we can say soil health is a capacity of soil to supply plant nutrients in appropriate time and appropriate quantity. And that sustain plant, animal, and human health. And why soil health is important? Soil health supports the food production and regulate the climate. It provides the essential nutrients for the plant and animal. It supports the microorganism and produce the healthy crops. Soil health also sustain the environmental health, human health, and animal health. With the help of soil testing approach, we can protect our soil from the degradation. Soil testing is the chemical analysis of soil to know the nutrient status and fertility status of the soil. The basic purpose of the soil testing program is the reducing the fertilizer waste and getting the maximum yield from the crop. When we go for the soil sampling, important points should be kept in your minds. Avoid the sampling near the house, road, burns, and recently fertilizer areas and composting. Sample must be taken before planting and after harvesting the crop and before the application of any organic and inorganic fertilizer. Half kg of soil is sufficient for the soil testing. During the sampling, follow the appropriate procedure. First, remove the litter from the surface by scraping at least spot. Take 15 to 20 surface soil sample up to the depth of 15 centimeter from each block about half acre areas. Collect the sample in a clean, dry container or polythene bags. If a kurpi or spade is used, first dig a V-shaped hole and take out the soil slice half inch from the thickness. Mix soil sample collected on a clean polythene sheets and divide into four parts. Discard the soil sample in opposite quarters. Mix rest of the soil and contain it till about the half kg soil is obtained. Dry the sample in a shade and fill in a cloth or polythene bag. After that, the soil sample is ready for the soil testing. For the horticulture crop, as you know, the roots of horticulture crop penetrate deep in the soil profile. The success of plantation depends on the fertility status of the soil. So, method of the collecting soil sample for the horticulture crops totally different from the agriculture. For the horticulture crop, D can be to maximum 150 centimeter depth. Make one side of this bit is vertical for the sampling and mark the side that is 15, 30, 60, 90, 120 and up to 150 centimeter depth. Hold a bucket or container at a 150 centimeter mark and collect the half kg of the soil. Then what is the characteristics of the healthy soil? Healthy soils have a good organic matter content. On healthy soils have a good soil health. It refers to overall characteristics of the soils and in context of the suitability for the crop protection. Sufficient depth refer to the extent of soil profile to which roots are able to grow and function. Healthy soil, sufficient amount of nutrients and adequate supply of nutrients and maintaining the balanced cycle of the nutrients. Whereas the excess nutrient can lead to the leaching, groundwater, pollution, and the toxicity to plant and microbes. Healthy soil retain the adequate water for the plant uptake. Healthy soil will have a high diverse population of the beneficial organisms. Weed pressure is the major constraint in the crop production, and weed compete with the crop, water, and nutrients that are essential for the plant growth. A well aggregated soil is more resistant to degradation. When you go for the assessment, means how well soil perform and all its function, and how those functions are preserved for the future use. The soil health cannot be determined by a single parameter. So, with the combination of all these indicators, we evaluate the indicators. Indicators are the property of soil and how well the soil can perform function. These indicators can be physical, chemical, and biological properties. In physical, indicators are bulk density, penetration resistance, aggregate stability, water holding capacity, and pore size. Bulk density denotes the compaction, aggregate stability, it will keep the and make the soil structure, and water holding capacity improve the pore size due to the different management practices. So all these physical indicators are help in the soil assessment. In chemical or biological indicator, we can say organic matter, which is very important. The active carbon and nitrogen, cation exchange capacity, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, all micronutrients and macronutrients, whether they are present or not. In biological indicator, decomposition rate, microbial biomass of nitrogen, microbial biomass of carbon, and respiration rate. So all these indicator is good for the assessment of the soil health. These physical and chemical property support the microbial activity. Soil health indicator can be seen with the naked eye. It can be seen with the naked eye, such as soil cover, soil texture, crusting or compaction, gravel particles, and earthworm activity. A well-structured soil has a visible aggregate, which means the soil particle that is sand, silt, and clay are the arranged in a layer aggregate that are separated by pores, which is crucial for the healthy soil and including water and air movement and plant growth. You see the soil aggregates. These aggregates create pore space, allowing water air. When the soil particles clump together to form an aggregate, they create space between, which is essential for the plant growth. These aggregates create pore space, allowing water air when the soil particle clumps together, and the healthy soil crumble easily in your hand and not feel compact or hard. This means the soil had a good balance of air, water, and proper root penetration, nutrient, and healthy microbial activities. If your soil is compacted, it is a sign it may be need more organic matter to improve its structure. In this case, compaction is more prone to the erosion. So with the addition of organic matter, it hold and bind the soil particle and create the space between the soil particle, which are crucial for the soil health. Soil pH is the key indicator of soil health. It measures the how soil is acidic or alkaline. The soil pH measures the hydrogen ion concentration in the soil solution and also indicating whether the soil is acidic, neutral, or alkaline. Soil pH scale varies from 0 to 14, that is, if the value is 7, means the soil is neutral. If the pH below 7, then they indicate the acidity. If the value is above 7, it indicates the acidity in the alkalinity in the soils. The ideal pH of the most of the crop is 6 to 7. It considered as a ideal because at this range it promotes the best availability of plant nutrients and microbes. If your soil is too acidic or too alkaline, nutrient may become locked up and unavailable to the plant. It leading to the poor growth because sometimes the nutrients are not dissolved by the unavailable to the plant. You see, the soil moisture is the another crucial indicator for the soil health because it is directly impact on the plant growth, microbial activity, and nutrient availability. Healthy soil should retain moisture but not stay waterlogged because it should have a good drainage. In this type of soil, have a sufficient oxygen and root penetration. A simple test is to squeeze and handful of soil. If crumble easily, the soil is dry. If water dries out, it too wet. You can also determine the soil structure by squeezing a small amount of soil between your thumbs and forefinger. It forms a river. It's likely to be wet. The right moisture balance is the essential for the root development and nutrient uptake because it facilitates nutrient transport to the root surface and allow for the efficient absorption while also supporting the root growth and overall growth of the plant. Good soil with proper water holding capacity will retain the moisture during dry period and drain excess water during the rainy season. It prevents the root rot because it allows the optimal root aeration and prevents the development of anaerobic conditions that promote the fungal growth in the soil. Most indicators, the biological activity, living organisms are highly sensitive to the environment. It includes the pollution and their presence and number of can reveal the health of the ecosystem. Healthy soils alive active earthworm, insect and microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. These break down the organic matter content and recycle the nutrient and improve the soil structure. Microorganisms convert the organic nutrient into the form that plant can absorb, such as nitrate to ammonia, and also play a role in the fixing atmospheric nitrogen in the usable form. If there is no microbial activity or foul smell in the soil, due to the lack of the microbial activity and foul smell in the soil, it can indicate the poor soil health. Soil texture is the another important indicator. Here, soil texture is the important indicator, which is the proportion of sand, silt, and clay particle, and it is a crucial indicator for the soil health. It impact on the water retention, drainage, nutrient availability, and overall soil function. Soil is made up of three components, that is sand, silt, and clay. The balance between these determine how well soil can drain, retain moisture, and hold the nutrients. Loamy soil is the balance between the sand, silt, and clay. Because loamy soil considered as the ideal for plant growth because it is a balance of sand, silt, and clay, and it is a good water retention and the source of nutrients. If the soil is too sandy, it drains too quickly and does not hold the nutrients. If it is too clay, it may become compacted and waterlogged. Because of its small particle size and the poor aeration, it becomes compacted and waterlogged. Another indicator is the soil color. Darker color signify the high content of organic matter, whereas the light color of the soil indicates the poor drainage or less fertility in the soils. You see, pale or gray color soils may indicate the poor organic matter content because of the lack of the organic matter, and lack of this staining may also indicate the poor drainage. Soil compaction and erosion are the clear sign that the soil is healthy and may be compromised because they disrupt the soil ability to support the plant growth and poor productivity and degrade the environment. Compacted soil restrict the root growth and water infiltration, while erosion leads to the loss most of this top of the soil that is rich in the nutrients. Plant growth in soil can be hindered by the variety of the factors, including compaction, nutrient imbalance, and other factors. By monitoring of these indicators, the soil is healthy and fertile. The healthy soil leads to healthier crops and better yield and more sustainable farming system. Then characteristics of indicator. They are easy to measure soil function. They encompass chemical, biological, and physical indicators. They are accessible to many users and application field condition. When we talk about the soil physical, chemical, and biological indicator, it helps the field condition. They are sensitive to variation in climate and management. Definitely, these properties influence the soil health that should be sensitive to variation in climate. Another one is the indicators and their relationship to the soil health. Means what they actually indicate and what they help to the soil. Look at the soil organic matter, how it helps in the soil. It helps in the nutrient retention and improve soil structure. If we look at the physical retention structure, transport of water, it is a habitat for the microbes. And in chemical indicators, it provides the electrical connectivity, soil pH, and all micro and micronutrients. If you look at the biological health of the soil, definitely it will be organism and they help in the microbial catalytic potential and the repository for the carbon, nitrogen, soil productivity. This picture shows the healthy and unhealthy soil. In left hand, you can see unhealthy soil, whereas in the right hand, you can see the healthy soil. Good soil are the productive with their natural limitation of the soil type and climate. Poorly functioning soil are the unhealthy and have properties that restrict the plant growth, and it negatively impact on the sustainability and profitability. In this method for the developing of soil health and soil quality, the soil quality indicator is determined by the minimum data set model with different steps. When all the indicator parameters of the data is put on this model, then they reduce the data and provide the principal component. The objective of principal component is to reduce the dimensionality of the parameter to identify the meaningful variables. Then the MDs provide the highly weighted variable. After that, scoring of the MDs is there. Each variable was transformed by standardized value between 0 to 1. 1 for the favorable soil function and 0 for the least favorable soil function. Then the final formula for computing soil quality index is SQI is equal to signature score into weight. The assumption was that the highest soil quality score means better soil quality or greater performance of soil function. Then the common constraint for the soil quality and soil health. Soil constraint limits the crop productivity, farm sustainability, and environmental quality. The soil compaction can occur at the surface and subsurface of the profile, and these contributing factors are when the soil is wet, over traffic is there, and they reduce the plant growth and also reduce the infiltration for aeration. Another constraint is the pore aggregation. In pore aggregation, soils are more susceptible to erosion and runoff. These contributing factors are poor aggregation stability, low organic matter content, that leads to the pore settling emergence and less microbial communities. Another constraint is the salinity and sodicity. The soil becomes saline when the concentration of soluble salt is excess in nature. Contributing factor of these are and these are mainly found in the arid and semi-arid region climate, especially water irrigated system. They can result in the loss of crop yield quality and high risk of humans. As you know, the types of soil in Himachal Pradesh is brown hill soil, some mountainous soils, black soils, and red soil. The soil found in Himalayan region are the diverse in character depending upon the altitude, vegetation, cover, and slope. The major soil of this group are brown hill soils, some mountainous soils, and meadow soils. Most of the soil in this region are acidic in nature. Acidic soils are found in highly altitude area of western Himalaya. Then terrain soil, this type of soil is mostly found in the foothills of the Himachal Pradesh. Forest soil of the Himachal Pradesh, this soil category is found across the Himalaya under the conifers and deciduous forest in the lower Siwalik range. The top of the soil is very rich in humic matter and formed by the bark leaves. And photogenic soils, they are class of the infertile acidic soils developed under coniferous forest in humid temperature. Red and black soils are the mostly deficient in the nutrient like phosphorus, nitrogen, lime, and humus. Desert soil, these soils are found in cold desert of Lawsmithing, Kinnaur, and these soils can be loam in texture, with clay containing less than 15%. Desert soils are pale brown in color. Soil Health Card. Soil Health Card is a government of India sponsored scheme promoted by the Department of Agriculture and Ministry of Agriculture Farmer Welfare. Soil Health Card scheme was launched by our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi on 19 February 2015 at Rajasthan. The tagline of this was uh, Swasthara Khet Hara. Soil Health Card is a report which is printed form and contains the status of the soil with respect to 12 parameters, which divided into four categories, that is macronutrient, micronutrient, physical and standard nutrients. The main objective of this scheme was to promote the soil test based on their nutrient management. Then the management strategy for better soil health and soil quality is choice of staple crops and cropping system means select the right combination of the crops and farming practices like rotation and intercropping. Second one is improve nutrient management practices, means using the nutrients from the fertilizer manure that optimize the yield and minimize the environmental impact. The next one is site specific nutrient management practices, means the crop receive the right nutrients at right time and right amount, which maximize nutrient use efficiency and reduce the environmental impact. Then next one is the integrated use of chemical fertilizer and organic fertilizer. With the combination of organic and inorganic fertilizer, we can also enhance the soil health. Next one is the conservation agriculture practices, means farming techniques that are promote the soil health and environmental sustainability. It involves the growing of different variety of same crop. It improves the soil health and biodiversity. The next one is agroforestry or plantation of crop that involve the farming with the trees or livestock on the same pieces of land. And next one is the and when the soil cover as much possible, which means planting of cover crops and leaving a crop residue on the soil surface. A nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. There can be no life without soil and no soil without life. They evolve together. We have to maintain the health of the both. Thank you for your kind attention.